Hello friends, welcome back to another session of my financial crypto predictions. Today is the 4th of May and well, you look at this guys, everything that I predicted so far is coming true. It's still very early, barely the first week of May, and you can see we had a massive correction, massive crash after reaching the peak almost to 6 digits back again. We got the maximum was nearly 98k, and in basically in 2 days, yesterday and today, we see Bitcoin has dropped all the way down to, at the lowest point it was actually 93k, but now currently it's at 94. So it's a significant correction. Let's just measure this. Yeah, it was almost 5%, something like that. So very, very powerful. I told you this will happen. To be quite honest, I was expecting way more volatility for tomorrow, which can still happen, okay? Because we have this volatility pattern right here. The 5th of May is shared by red and green energies, and also on the green box. So obviously we did not see any uptrend whatsoever today. So it's possibly going to be tomorrow. It's going to be maybe a recovery. I really hope it's a full recovery, at least for that day, meaning that we could go back to at least 96k, something like this. It could be a start. After that, however, I see the price will continue to weaken around the 6th, possibly to the 7th of May, and maybe reach some kind of chill or range day around the 8th. And also, this is the period of days which I told you many times, especially since I first released these May predictions. I told you that we could see a very nice days, because we could see consecutive green days, meaning that the price will continue to climb in basically many days. So we can see maybe reaching a peak around the 11th of May. It's going to be interesting if things go really well, and if the corrections that are coming are not so bad, especially as these ones. Maybe, and if the recovery if the recovery is also very good tomorrow, maybe we can see, especially with consecutive green days, reach 100k around these dates. Okay. So you can see Bitcoin was extremely volatile today. I'll show you right now the altcoin predictions that I have for May, and you'll notice some key differences, and I'll also highlight every single detail. But yeah, that's basically all I have for Bitcoin in the next for the next days. It's going to be kind of volatile, like I told you, but I am very, very confident that May is going to be a very good month, especially if these green zones hit really well. We can see basically Bitcoin climb up back to 100k in this month, basically, maybe even higher than this. But of course, I cannot share any more information. My clients, you guys know exactly what dates you should be looking out for. Especially those of you who got the Bitcoin charts, any one of the two charts that I currently do for clients only. But yeah, let's take a look at AVAX. Okay, so AVAX, you can see we also had red days for yesterday, but notice that AVAX today is not really that bad compared to Bitcoin. Obviously, it's a correction, but currently this is right here is the starting position, somewhere around here, and the current position, it's actually very close to that. So it's kind of a day in range. Bitcoin had a massive crash today. In fact, this is the strongest correction for Bitcoin today. But for Avalanche was not really the case. In fact, it was actually yesterday. So you can see with AVAX, we had a yellow circle with either means volatility or range, but also the red box, which also covers the same day. So basically we could see either very volatile corrections or or corrections in range. So what we got for AVAX was a very, very volatile correction right here. Starting from the 2nd, it was a very volatile correction around here, basically almost 4%. and the correction for yesterday as well, which is somewhere around here, even more volatile. So you can see both of these 2 days were very volatile, and on the correction, basically downwards. Notice Bitcoin did not have any red box for these days, AVAX did. And even though Bitcoin also dropped hard, AVAX dropped way harder yesterday and on the 2nd of May, not so much today. So this is why it's very, very important to see my charts separately. Okay, you need to watch out for the altcoins and their divergences, because many of you will notice, obviously, this is basically common sense, that when you have Bitcoin always tends to dictate the price and the mood of the markets, of the crypto markets. Like 90% of the cryptos will respond to whatever Bitcoin does. But there are some key days, some key differences that many altcoins will diverge from Bitcoin. And this is one of them today for AVAX. So for the next days in AVAX, I see potentially a very volatile tomorrow, very volatile 5 of May, around the 6th. Basically right here we can see almost the same, kind of the same paradigm, except there are some divergences. For example, we have, I believe Bitcoin had 6 and 7, I believe, on the red. Right here, AVAX is showing this on the green. So this is very interesting. What this tells me is that whatever happens on these days, AVAX will perform better than Bitcoin. It's very likely that it will happen. Now, the other key divergence, we see that Bitcoin also had the 8 to the 11 as complete green, and AVAX, at least in the circles, has them on the red. So it's the complete opposite. We still have some green days around the 10 or the 11, so very volatile days for AVAX, I believe. And if things go well and driven by Bitcoin, it could go green on these days. But especially on the 8 and the other days, around the 7 to the 9, we'll see that maybe it won't be that good for AVAX. Okay, there might be some divergence right here compared to Bitcoin. So that's basically all for AVAX. Now let's take a look at the final crypto, which is Ethereum. So okay, I think Ethereum also shows some key divergences. For example, ever since the start of May, Ethereum has been basically outperforming even Bitcoin, I believe, because Bitcoin had, the uptrend on the first was good, but not as good as Bitcoin, so maybe this day is the exception. But notice that the 2nd of May, which starts around here and finishes around somewhere around here, is not so much of a very hard correction as it was the case for especially AVAX and parts of Bitcoin. But also on the 3rd of May, you can see right here, this is the position where it starts, and this is the position where it ends. So basically a day in range. So Ethereum manages to avoid a full correction on the 3rd of May, and instead goes fully in range, which is boring because this doesn't really provide any opportunities for good, decent profits. But it's also interesting because basically it tells me that Ethereum is starting to outperform Bitcoin, even if just slightly and very, very small. But it could be the start of something really big. And the 4th of May was a complete correction. This is the thing that they both have in common. Still, I think it's not as bad as Bitcoin, for almost 4% basically on the lowest point. So it's not really that bad compared to Bitcoin. And there was also possibility for corrections around this day, the 4th especially. You can see that in the case of Ethereum, the 2nd and the 3rd were completely in yellow, and we just saw that the 3rd of May was completely in range. So yeah, very interesting. Again, this is what you need to watch my videos fully. Okay, you need to go and read all the charts. You cannot just stay with only one chart, because it provides many key insights to basically do better trading, especially doing altcoins. And basically everything that I say, about Bitcoin can also be replicated again on Ethereum with some also key differences. Okay, this is why you need to check out the charts every single time you go into trading. You see the red box 9 to the 13th of May, so it covers a wider range of days right here, and especially we see them on the red. Okay, this is the exact same of days, range of days which Bitcoin has them on the green. So again, just like in the case of AVAX, what this tells me is that Ethereum might not perform really that good compared to Bitcoin. It might actually end up being a disappointment in some of these days. After that, we see a potential fully powerful recovery around the 13 to 14. So this is basically all I have for you. I will continue doing more trading signals, of course, as the weeks and the days go by. So stay tuned for more crypto predictions. Everyone who has requested special predictions, special charts, you already have been delivered today as well. There were some couple of people who wanted some very interesting charts, actually not Bitcoin, not even crypto, which was kinda interesting. And I really like when my clients ask for more in-depth and some out-of-the-box thinking financial predictions. Some of you have really surprised me. So that's all I have for you. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and take care.